Everyone has been talking about OpenAI's ChatGPT and its ability to generate human-like text, which has created a frenzy of people online mentioning business models that you can make thousands of dollars per day.
GPT can help you start your next business.
Now, I want to put this to the test in today's video, and I'm going to attempt to start a business using only AI and get it to $1,000 in a single day. So here's my plan. There's a lot of good business models to start with AI, but few of them are as lucrative as drop shipping. So I'm gonna let AI build our entire dropshipping store, to creating the copy, to generating our logo, and then ultimately we're gonna spend money on advertisements and see how profitable this business model is. Now, usually when I start a dropshipping store, the first part of this process is choosing a product. But technically, I'm not allowed to make this decision, so it's going to be really interesting to see what ChatGPT picks and if they're able to choose a good product for us to sell. So after prompting ChatGPT for a few minutes and trying to have them help find our product, what I realized is this was one of the limitations of ChatGPT. They are not able to help us select a product unless it has a bunch of criteria and is able to decipher between that criteria to come up with a product. Now, even when I did feed ChatGPT some criteria to base this selection off of, it was not able to make a decision and kept spitting out this same generic response. So to get around this, I ended up prompting ChatGPT with 3 separate products that I found, which all had potential, and I asked ChatGPT to choose one of these. Now, ultimately, the product they ended up choosing was surprising. They decided to go with this rose lamp over here. Now, personally, I'm really excited that they did choose this product because currently right now it's January 11th, which means that we have a whole 35 days before Valentine's Day starts. So I don't know if ChatGPT picked this on purpose because of that. But overall, I think this was a strong play by ChatGPT. Now, for the next part of this process, AI had to help us choose a brand name, so I prompted ChatGPT to come up with 10 brand names for a rose tree lamp. So ultimately, ChatGPT had 40 brand names to choose between, and I asked them to choose one of these for our brand, and they ended up going with Rose Tree Lights, which is actually available on GoDaddy as well. Now, while I think this perfectly encapsulates what we're trying to sell, it's definitely not creative, and I'm not gonna fully blame that on AI. They just spit out some of the most literal brand names they could come up with. But one thing this really reminded me of is when I first got started with entrepreneurship. To come up with my first brand name, I remember me and my best friend spent nearly all night just brainstorming, drinking beer, and trying to figure out what we could do. So to have a tool like this where you can just consistently refresh is just a game changer. Speaking of game changers, another AI tool that we're going to be using is Midjourney. This tool allows us to generate any image simply by giving it descriptive prompts, which I'm going to be using to help us generate our logo completely free. So while ChatGPT can generate any text, Midjourney can generate any image. Now, if you combine these tools together, you can use ChatGPT to come up with descriptions to feed into Midjourney, which will help improve our experience of getting a logo that we're looking for. So I ended up asking ChatGPT to come up with a description of this logo, and I asked them to create it using only adjectives. So I prompted Midjourney to come up with a logo called Rose Tree Lamp that's elegant, modern, stylized, warm, inviting, and here are the different generations it came up with. Now, one thing that I see right off the bat is these generations don't look very great. So something that you're gonna have to do with these tools is you might have to prompt them multiple times, or even prompt them with different adjectives and try to switch up the variation so you can get what you're trying to get. So what I realized after trying to generate this logo is that Midjourney has trouble getting the proper text we want on our logo. Now, I don't know if this limitation is on purpose, but we're getting some really good assets to use on our logo, but it's not able to generate the whole thing. Did we get the logo done? Yes, but it was actually a little bit more difficult than I expected. So originally I thought I was gonna be able to get a perfect logo for our brand, but they just kept sending these weird versions with our company name spelled wrong. And I thought I was gonna be able to turn this into a logo with the assets they generated for us. But after playing with it for about 5 minutes on Canva, I realized this was a lost cause. So yesterday, I ended up sending my favorite design from Midjourney to an artist on Fiverr to recreate this entire logo. And the logo actually just got delivered, so let's check it out. So I'm not gonna lie with you guys, I pretty much picked the first designer on Fiverr that I could, and this is the original variation that I sent over to him. So as you see, this is a pretty cool, high quality logo, and the problem was that this text just couldn't come out right. But here's the logo he ended up creating for us. I think it looks pretty similar, and it is a good logo, and this made me realize even if Midjourney could not generate our entire logo for us, I was able to spit out an example to send to a graphic designer within only a few minutes, which just made the whole creative process to get this final logo so much easier. So overall, I think this is a huge W. And now that we have our logo ready, I'm gonna get straight into designing our Shopify store so we can get ready to advertise. Now, I don't wanna bore you guys with this process, so here's what I did in super speed. I started a Shopify store with my 90-day trial link, and you guys should use it too to get 90 days for $1. And then I downloaded a tool called ZenDrop. This platform is gonna be the tool that I'm using to source the Rose tree lamp, and these guys are gonna be actually shipping the product directly to our customer. Next, I imported the product to our store, and it actually populated all the product photos, which is another reason I love this tool. And then I needed to delete some variants that I wasn't planning on selling, and I took the product description that ZenDrop gave us, I entered it into ChatGPT, and they were able to rewrite us a version that, in my opinion, was 10 times as good as the original. Next, I downloaded the Shopify theme Dawn, and I was ready to start designing our site. I added our logo, I generated all the store's copy from ChatGPT, and then after playing around with color codes and typography, in exactly 36 minutes from starting this process, we're left with a near final draft, so let's hop on my phone and check it out. Alright guys, so here's what we were able to design in 36 minutes. This is the home page. It's pretty simple. We have a little bit of copy over here, and then we have the product. We're going to be selling 3 variations: blue, pink, white, purple, and ultimately red. Now I chose this pink background to go with the Valentine's Day vibe. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with that yet, but overall I think the website's looking pretty clean. This is not the final version, but I think we're nailing down some of the details. So over here you can see the product description. It's pretty clean, it's pretty simple. And then if we come to this drop down, you can see the materials are in here, the shipping and returns, and then on our menu tab we're able to get a contact us page and an about page, guys. Now that the website's out of the way, we got the most difficult part of this challenge behind us. Unfortunately, I realized there was something that we completely forgot to do, which was price our product. Standardly, when I'm drop shipping and selling e-commerce products, I like to mark them up 3 times the product price. So what I'm really curious about is if ChatGPT is gonna give our product a good markup or not. And honestly, this single factor alone could make or break the success of this challenge. So first off, I asked how much they'd sell a product on an e-commerce website if we were sourcing it for $19, and they mentioned as a language model, they don't have the ability to sell products or make those type of decisions. So ultimately, I asked them what's the ideal markup for an e-commerce product, and they mentioned that 50 to 100% markup is considered a good range for most e-commerce businesses. Now, I don't necessarily believe that 50% markup is a good markup, but at the end of the day, we're gonna have to listen to what input AI gives us. So for the purpose of this challenge being successful, I'm gonna pick the higher number, and we're gonna be marking the product up by 100%. Now, since the product's $8 and we have an $11 shipping fee, altogether we're paying about $19 to get this product delivered directly to our customer with fast shipping. So with 100% markup, the product cost would be roughly $38. And just for purpose of a pretty number, I'm gonna mark this product up to $39.99. And that's gonna be our official sale price. This is gonna be the price that we're gonna advertise and the price that people are gonna pay when they come to our website. website. This wraps up the entire process of us setting up the back end to our business, meaning that we're gonna finally be able to focus on attracting customers to this business and seeing how much money AI can generate. Now, standardly, when I'm going to market a product, there's a lot of different information that I need to consider, what platforms it's currently doing well on, if there's a lot of competitors in the market, the demographics of this product, but I'm not gonna be able to use any of my knowledge. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT, where should we advertise this product and what's gonna give us the best chances of success? And now, like we've seen, ChatGPT has a lot of trouble being decisive, so it was the same case for this answer. And we were prompted that the best advertising platforms are Google Ads, Facebook and Instagram ads, Amazon advertising, Pinterest, and influencer marketing. And I do agree with all these platforms being good platforms to advertise, but what I'm curious about is, where is TikTok? In my opinion, I think TikTok is going to be the best platform to use for this product, so I'm pretty surprised that our omniscient artificial intelligence tool did not pick that up. Now, since this tool is absolutely useless unless we provide it with enough information, I decided to elaborate on our marketing efforts, and I told ChatGPT that our goal is to advertise to a younger demographic, and I asked them to pick the platform that will match that demographic. And I'm actually delighted that ChatGPT got this one right, because out of the 5 platforms they listed, Instagram and Facebook ads was the one they chose for younger demographics, which I completely agree with. And now that we know what platforms we're gonna be advertising on, I decided to ask ChatGPT how much money we should start with for this dropshipping business. Ultimately, they said that we need to start with a low budget, and I asked them to specify what does a low budget mean, and they mentioned that it was less than $500. So following ChatGPT's advice, I'm gonna be using $250 to advertise for this company, which I'm gonna be sharing the process with you in next video. I'm sorry I wasn't able to fit it into this video. It took me a little bit to record, but I'm gonna drop an update on this challenge next week so you guys know exactly what happened.